Hi, I'm Arsin from WeatherJs Tech, and in this video, we're going to build this interesting website using Materialize CSS from scratch. As you can see, we have two sliders here. And we have our service section, blog section, and social media icon section, and a content section, and last but not the least, our footer section. And as you can see, we're also using a Scrollspy, service, blog, contacts, home. So if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's get on to business. So the first thing we want to do is to go to materializecss.com, click on Get Started, and then in here, click on Templates. Let's get these templates, download. So let's unzip these. Perfect. I want to rename this to agency. So let me launch in my VS Code and open that folder, which is agency. Perfect. So in here we have some couple of files. We have the CSS folder, which consists of some files, the custom style of CSS, which we are going to work with soon, and we also have some custom styles from Materialize CSS. We have the mini version and the full version. Also, same thing applies to the JS. This innate version, which we are going to work with soon, and also we have the full version of the mini version. So here's our index.html. So let's go live. So I'm using live server. I don't need this browser. So perfect. So we have our index.html file open, which is the starter template. So this is what we want to customize to look like this. So let's begin. The first thing we want to do now is to work on our nav, because right in here we have our logo and navbar link, so nothing special. So let's go to our nav, and in our body, first let's make this to be, the title should be agency or creative agency, right? Creative agency. So in here, this is a comment, navbar. So to change this to black, because here we have black. So to change this to black, this is what we'll do. You just change this light blue to black. Indeed, if you should go to Materialize and search for color, they have several colors in here. In their palette, their color palette, we have several colors. So for the black, search for black. So just input this word black in there, right in here. So to say and save. Here we have black. What's happening? Command S. So we have our black nav link now. So the next thing, nav bar. Am I typing? So in here we have our nav bar, but we need our nav bar link. We need that of the home, service, blog, and contact. So this is what we'll do. So we need home, service, blog, contact. So this should be home, service, blog, and contact. So let's save. Yeah, perfect. We have home, service, blog, contact, and the next thing is to implement our logo, which is creative. So to do that, and also let's make some changes in the mobile version also. Let's copy this li and paste it here. So let's try it. So perfect, it worked. So for the logo, we'll have to change these to, was it creative? Creative. And also we have some icon here, a little code icon. Right in here, save. Perfect. So to do that, let's go to Materialize to see how to implement their icon. So to implement Materialize icons, so all you have to do is to have an element of hi with a class of Materialize icon, then followed by the type of icon. In this, we need, look at it, we have several here, so we're going to use that of the code, which is this. So we just have to type in code here. So the first thing we'll do now is to, let's grab our icon here. So go, but I want to put it before the logo, so it should be here. It should be in the A tag, right? Yeah. So paste, save. So this is hard, so we need to have the code. That is it. Something we want this to spread out. So to change that, we want to remove this container. Yeah, so container, I want to remove this container. What container actually does is to position it to be the center. So if we should remove it now, you see the function of the container. Save. So you find out it's now spread out. So let's work on our custom style to make it shift towards the side. Let's apply some margin towards it. So in here in our custom style, since we're in the nav and we need thereof the class of, let's give it a custom class of logo to work with. So we want nav. In the nav we need thereof the logo. So in our style nav, we target out the nav class dot logo, our custom class also. In this we just apply margin left to 50 ps. Save. Perfect. So we are progressing. And one more thing, we need that of the inquiry now button. So to do that, go to Materialize, search for button, and we need button. So in this, okay, let's grab this, all right? Let's grab this button here. In our nav bar, where's our nav bar? Yeah, this is our nav bar. So we need it half before or after. Is it after or before? Yeah, after of the contact. So contact, and so let's create our li, and let's paste it here. Save and see what happens. So perfect. So we want to change this to white and black text. So in this, give it a black, and we need a black dash text. Make it to change the text. So we have inquired now, right? So we are progressing. Inquired now, and what happened? This should be white, sorry to say, not black. So yeah, we have our button. So let's change this to inquiry now. Inquiry now. Save. So perfect. So our navbar is complete. So let's go to that of our slider. So to implement the slider, let's get our asset. Let's go to pizzabay.com and agency is what I type for. Is what I search for. Agency. So I'm gonna grab these, download, and but let's create a folder here, or we can use our code editor to do that. So let's create a folder of img, so which is here. So we're gonna paste, we're gonna look for img, and here should be slider 1. It should be slider 2. So perfect. So I cannot close that. So and to implement slider, we go to Materialize. We will now search for slider. Is there anything like slider here? Or let's go to JavaScript section. So we need media, and in our media boards, we click on slider here. So to implement slider in Materialize is quite simple. So all we got to do now is to copy this code for the slider. Yeah. Copy and should be section slider. So we're going to use HTML section here. Section with a, okay, let me paste it, you see, and save. If you save, nothing will happen because we need to init it. So to do that, so let's use jQuery instead of JavaScript here. I want to grab this jQuery here and go to our code in our init file. Just want to paste in the comment init slider. Paste it here. So we don't need these because end of document is already ready. So we just have to get rid of these, cut these and paste it here. So that is it. So perfect. We have our slider, but we need just 2 sliders. So where's our slider section? So instead of using the dev, let's use section here. It should be section. Here should be section closed. Save. We need just 2. So this is our first one. Second, so we can get rid of the rest too. So from here. So we have two right now, 1, 2. So we don't need this indicator, and if you should scroll down to the options here, we can turn off the indicator and do some kind of couple of things right here. So for the sake of time, I just want to grab in from here and paste it here. So in here, we make it a full width to be true, indicator false, and the height to be 500. So if we should, so perfect, we have this. So the next thing we want to do now is to change our image. Where are you? Yeah, so in this case, we want to make this img slider 1 and img slider 2. Save. Yeah, perfect. So we're progressing. So the next stage now is to darken this image. The image is not darkened, right, compared to this. So I have a tools instead of using what's it called in CSS? Is it transparent or so? Let me just go to pin tools image to darken it. I forgot. And just we want to darken image. Choose file. Let's grab in our first slider. Where is this? Document agency img slider 1. I want to darken it to be 50% and click on darken. And one, save, replace. Same thing with all of the slider 2. Darken. Replace. So yeah, perfect. So the next step is to impute our write-up Creative Studio. And so to do that, let's so in here we want to change this to H5, and this should be Creative Studio. And yeah, we just want to implement some letter on epsilon 10 should be okay. Save. Let's see what happens. It should be H1, not H5. Yeah, perfect. And so for the next one, we're just going to leave it like that because I don't think so. We need a button actually. We need a button. So to do that, we'll go back to Materialize again, search for button. So to implement button Materialize, it's just quite so simple. We just want to grab in large button. In this case, just grabbing button. And under our H5, we want to paste in our button here. And to make it large, we just have to do btn large. There is a is in this documentation. Just you can read through this documentation to make it small, to make it large. You can even use BTN large as well, or you can just copy this and paste it here. That is it. Let's check it. I think there's something I need to do. We have to make some couple of change, learn more, and then we have to change the text to learn more. Do I use all, yeah, uppercase? Learn more, and let's see. The color is white. And a class of white, and we need of a black text. Dash test. Let's save. So perfect, but to make it elegant like the first one, let me see. So let's add some custom style sheet from. So in the button, in our sliders, which in our sliders class, which is the slider class, we want to target of the BTN. The BTN. So let me have this there, BTN class. So in here, so we target of the slider and of the BTN. We just have a margin top to make to give it some space, margin top, and then padding of 0 and 50. And we also have a border radius of 1. So if you save, we have this, which is perfect. So same thing will apply with our of the next slider. So we just have to grab in this part, copy, and in the second slider, we paste it beneath here. So perfect, we're progressing. So in our service section, which is quite easy, there's nothing much to do here. Let me remove this starter template file. So this will have to go because we don't need it. So in the service section, we want to do some cover of trick here. I want to make this black, just like this. So this should be black, black, black. So to do that, I have a comment here. It should be section, should be service, and the text should be black text, not blue text. So this should be light, should be black text. Let's see. Perfect. And let's do the same here. Black and black also. So we're progressing. So we have our service section working well. And let's go to our blog. So to implement a blog session, this is what we'll do. I don't want to waste time in developing this. That's why I'm trying to fast. I'm a little bit fast here. So in terms of the blog, in here we create a comment. It should be section. blog, and in this blog we want to use a card. Cards. But first, what I want to explain here, we'll use the grid system, because if you check here, we have this grid system right in here. All right, so I just want to copy the codes from here and explain how it works. So this is it. So what actually happened here is this: we have a session with an ID of blog. This we don't require now. I'll explain this later. So we have a session class we have our custom session blog, and also we don't also need this now. This Scrollspy. I'll explain this later. What it does. So in here we have our H6, which we position to that center, to that B, and to make it in center position. And also have our H3 latest blog, which is what you're seeing here. So in here we're using our grid system. So to familiarize yourself with the grid system, so to implement the grid system, you can read through here. It's very self-explanatory. And for the grid system, they're using a 12-column grid system. And so in here they're using 6 columns. So this is the 12th column, and this is for the 6. So this is what, let me explain later. Let me try to explain later. So we are saying we want everything should be S12 now, and in here this dev is a 12 column wide on all screen. This is what this S12 means. So this for 6 column, and this was for 6 column from F and F. And also remember, you have to include this class of row first. So in the card, which is what I'm using here, card, I'm just using a simple card with a link, which is this card with a link. So I just grab it from here to that of here and paste it here, which is from this card, which is from the first card, and so we just have the first card, which is what I grabbed from here, from this card to this dev here. It's exactly the same thing you're using here, from here to here for the first one. And let me see what's happening here. Why is it not showing? Our image should be img slider 1. Okay. And for the second card also, you have img slider 2. Same thing here. img slider 1. So let's see. So perfect. We have a blog session, and the next part now is the social media icon section. So to implement this, we just have to do the same thing. Not really much here. Same step. So in here, we give it a comment of session. This session we need follow. It should be follow. And I just want to grab in the code, the HTML code. I don't want to start typing it, so that is the reason why I just want to copy and paste. Why trying to reinvent the way when there is copy and paste? So in here, I'll explain what's happening here. So also, we are using a class of, we're using a session HTML section, and also we have a class of session from Materialize. This session follows our custom, which we're going to start now. And we are saying let it be black and let it be darkened to and white text. So we're using container as explained in this. As explained here, the container, it allows you to center your page content. So that is a function of that container over there. And also we are using the row, the grid system, row S12 and center. So that is it. So in this place, we are using Fort Hudson. So you can grab Fort Hudson CDN, search it and grab their CDN from their website and paste it. So in here, I'll just bring it from here. And paste it in my header section. So this is the link, the CDN link. Save. So now we have an H4 with Follow Creative Agency. This is what you're seeing here. And we have our paragraph, follow us on social media icon for special offers. And in here we're having a tag with the class of white text. So we're using Fort Hudson classes here. So same thing happened to that of the first one for the Facebook, the Pinterest, and the LinkedIn, the Twitter, and that of the Google Plus. So that is it. There's not really much here to explain. So we have this. So for that of our footer, all we gotta do is to turn it to black. So this should be the footer. No, we need that of the content section before footer. So for our form, so for the form, we want to search for form here also. I can just scroll to, I think we have form here, form, text input. So I encourage you to read through this Materialize CSS. Quite simple, quite easy and quite simple. So I'm using from these icon preface. And in this is how to implement it. This icon preface. So what I did is I grabbed this code here and in here put an HTML comment so that of session should be contact. So I'll grab in the code from here. So so for the contact, I don't need this Scrollspy class now. And I'm saying we don't need this ID now. Explain later. And in here we're having a section class with a section contact. As you can see, we have some little bit bug here to fix, unlike this. So to do that, we want to go to our style.css and add some custom style with the social media. For the social media, so for that we are targeting that of our custom class of session follow and that of the FA from Fort Hudson. Where are you section? So these are our custom section follow, and we are targeting that of this FA-4S. So we're just giving a margin of 5 PS and 10 PS. So that is it. Perfect. And the next thing now is to, yeah, so the next thing now, let me explain all of these content section for you. In the content section, we have a container, just as explained before. We have a row, and we have our input feed, and also we also have, for the icon, there is a materialize icon here. I can't that circle, so that is the reason we have these also. And that's it. There's not really much here. So, and for this is for the name, we have that for the email, and also we have that for the message. We're using materialize text area here, followed by an icon of materialize icon of message. These are all in the icon section. Materialize type of message. This is it. So we have several icons for materialize also. So that is it. So let's check what we're going to do next now. So I think our website is up and running. So let's add some margin top to this form, because we need some breathing space here. So in our contact, we have a custom class of section contact. So just need to go to our style sheet, and we're picking that class of section dash contact. So we want to give margin top to that of 100 ps. Save. Perfect. So that's it. So let's implement our Scrollspy like this. Home, service, contact. So to do that, we want to go to our nav. So here should be home, service, this should be blog, and this should be contact. So this for the mobile, also need for that of the medium screen, home, service, blog, and contact. So in here, in our home, we'll give an ID of home here, which is for the body, ID of home, and for the services, given an ID of service. For the blog, it should be an ID of blog, and for the contact, we have an ID of contact. So let's see and see what happens. So service, and one more thing, let's make this our nav to be fixed like this. See, when I scroll down, the nav is fixed, but unlike this, the nav is not fixed here. So to do that, it's just quite simple. So in here, we want to implement a dev, which is our nav. In this dev, we want to have a class of fixed nav bar dash fixed. So now it will be fixed. So we have our service, blog, contact. And let me turn this to, let me give this a class of href of contact also. Set a class, not a class. It should be contacts. So we have service, blog, contact. Why are you not working? In here. So put an href. Pound side contact. Reload, service, blog, contact. So it's not working. So the footer, which we're going to change to black, just have to go scroll down to the footer section, and we just want to give here a class of black. Save. Perfect. So it's working. So to implement this Scrollspy, we just have to add these Scrollspy to our classes here. You can just check it here. Scrollspy. Just have to add a class of Scrollspy. There's not really much there. Scrollspy for the contacts. For the blog, Scrollspy. These are all classes from Materialize, and for our service, Scrollspy. And that is it. So let's save what service, blog, contact, home. So, and that is it. Is it working? No, not working. Why? Yeah, sorry. See, in here we need to init it. So in this part, we're gonna copy this and go to our jQuery session, and this should be comment of init Scrollspy. So as usual, I don't need this. Only need this, then get rid of this, paste in here, and that is it. So now service, log, contact. Why are you not working? Let's see. I can see we have some error here. Yeah, so it will now work. Service, blog, contact, home, inquire. So it's now work. So thank you very much for taking your time out, and please show some love, like and subscribe. See you in the next lecture.